Atisha has been a foster carer for TACT in Bristol for 12 years. She's one of a record 45,000 fostering households in England, but it's not enough to keep up with the growing number of children needing foster homes.
I think that people sometimes have the notion that, that it's either age, sexuality, whether they have, a big enough house, when really what we're looking for are people who have a room to offer that child their space, as well as, a loving, welcoming home to be able to support those children.
The most recent figures from Ofsted show there was the highest ever number of inquiries into fostering last year, but only a fraction resulted in applications.
I think for some of the people, the time isn't right for them. We need foster carers of all ages, of all ethnicities, from all parts of the country, so that we can give the right care close to where children come from, so they can maintain those links with their schools and with their extended family.
Elaine and her husband Anthony foster 2 teenagers, the age group desperately in need of more foster carers. They say there are some myths to bust when it comes to looking after teens.
Having teenagers, the benefits are they're much more self-sufficient and they're quite more independent, and I think it's quite rewarding for when they get to that age to realise there's a support infrastructure for them.
I think it's also important to remember that a teenager is in care for exactly the same reason why a baby is in care. It's not their fault. And it's wonderful to see a teenager being able to excel and do things that they maybe didn't think they could do.
Teenagers, like any children, when they come into care, they've usually experienced some trauma, some abuse and neglect, and they really need the same care as other children. We need to raise more awareness of fostering on a national level. For example, to recruit teachers and nurses, the government have been very active in recruiting, and this is a very similar vocation like teaching or nursing, and we need to have a greater awareness amongst the general public of fostering.
The government say they are encouraging more people to come forward to provide homes for vulnerable children, and additional funding has been made available in response to changing pressures on children's services. Amrit Birdie, ITV News.